Hi everyone, we are here for this week's vocabulary lesson. This is my third time recording this, so fingers crossed it works out this time. The first time they started testing the fire alarms in the new homes they're building next door to us, and it was very loud. And I thought it would maybe be drowned out, but I watched the video back and it is certainly not. It's very obnoxious. So that one got thrown away. And then the next one, we did great. And then Bentley decided to bury his treats in the rocking chair that he lays in next to me. You can see him over there. He decided to put his head under that little blanket and bury his treats. And then he got mad that it went too far down and he couldn't reach it. It's like, Bentley, why do you do this? He always does this. Do your animals do that? They bury their treats and then it goes too far down and he can't reach it. So he started going crazy. He was barking, and so that one went in the trash. So now he's resting. He's happy. We calmed him down. So here we are, ready for Tuesday's vocabulary lesson. We are in 8.3 of our Wonders curriculum, which doesn't have to mean anything to you. Our question, or our essential question this week, is what do you see in the sky? So these vocabulary words will go along with things that we see in the sky, and they will also be related to stories that we're going to be reading later in the week. So let's begin with our first word, which is challenge. Everybody say challenge. A challenge can be something that calls for hard work and a lot of effort. Playing the violin is a real challenge. And now your question. So remember, when we do the vocabulary words, I'm going to ask a question, and then grown-ups, if you could please pause the video and have your child verbally respond to you with their answer. So the question for this one: which is a greater challenge for you, singing or playing sports, and why? So which one is a bigger challenge for you, singing or playing sports, and then tell your grown-up why. Why is that one more of a challenge? Now let's look at the picture of someone who is learning to play the violin. Learning to play the violin is pretty hard or a challenge. You have to pay attention and practice a lot to be good. So this word challenge, what this reminded me of is distance learning is a challenge. It'd be so much easier to be in the classroom, right? So if it is a challenge for you to learn at home, or if it is a challenge for parents to navigate distance learning, that's a challenge for all of us. So that's what that word reminded me of. Everyone say challenge. All right, our next word is, speaking of distance learning, distance. Everybody say distance. Distance is how far one object is from another object. The distance between my home and the school is 1 mile. Now for your question, is there a lot of distance between your home and your best friend's home? So if maybe you don't know where your best friend lives. If you don't, you could maybe do a family member, maybe a grandma or grandpa or a cousin, an uncle. Is there a lot of distance between your home and your best friend's home, or someone that you know where they live? Go ahead and pause the video and answer that question. This picture shows the word distance. You can take a school bus to travel a long distance. Everyone say distance. Very good. Your next word is recognize. Everyone say it with me, recognize. To recognize is to know you have seen something before. I recognize the new teacher because I met him last week. And now your question. Do you recognize everyone in our class? Why or why not? Now I know that's a little bit different because we aren't actually in the classroom with all of our friends. But picture that things weren't like this and we were actually in our classroom. Think about all of our friends. Picture it in your brain. Picture maybe like our rainbow carpet. We're all sitting there together because that's where we would be doing this vocabulary lesson. If you looked around that area, would you recognize everyone in our class? I hope you say yes. But answer that question, why or why not? Now let's look at the picture that shows the word recognize. The children are looking and waving at the new teacher, and the teacher is waving back. The children recognize the new teacher because they have seen him before. Everyone say recognize. Very nice job. Next word. Dun, 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 dun. I have a lot of friends that are probably going to like this one. It is space. Everybody say space. We have a lot of outer space loving friends in our classroom, so I was excited for this word. Space is the huge area beyond the sky where all the stars and planets are. The moon is in space. You have the moon right here, and then our planet Earth right there. And now your question. Would you like to travel in space one day? Why or why not? So go ahead and pause the video. Would you like to travel in space one day? Why or why not? Now let's look at the picture of Earth and the moon in space. The moon, the sun, and all the planets are in space. I'm extra bummed that we do not have this word when we are in the classroom because we have friends like Tyrion and Nico and Elijah that always love to share the best, most fun facts about outer space with us. And so I'm bummed that I don't get to hear all those fun facts that I know that they would be sharing with us. Oh, everyone say space. Very nice job. And our last vocabulary word for this week is surface. Everybody say surface. The surface of something is the very top layer. The surface of the playground is bumpy. And now your question. How do you think the surface of the moon is different from the surface of the Earth? So go ahead and pause the video and answer that question. How do you think the surface of the moon is different from the surface of the Earth? Now let's look at the picture of the playground. Under the swings, there is a wood chip surface covering the ground. Grass covers the ground in another part of the playground. So if you look closely, you can see that this area underneath the swings is all wood chips. And then we have some grass back here. And the wood chips covers the top surface of the ground. So that is why they said it is bumpy. You would think by now I would have this whole switch camera thing figured out. I don't at all. Everyone say surface. Very nice job. So, looks like round 3, third times was a charm. I think that video is going to work out. Awesome job on your vocabulary words this week. Everyone give me some air high fives. Super proud of you. I will be posting this video for you on Tuesday. Please make sure you check that one out, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, love bugs.